Um, it really excites me actually to be talking. I'm usually talk one game at a time kind of guy, and as you guys know, and now to be able to talk about our seniors is is really something that I'm going to enjoy. And this group has been a great group for us too. So um, I look forward to sharing some of the stories about this special group of guys that took on the challenge a while ago, and just to see this many people on the call. I know how much they've helped change Rutgers basketball, because I'm not sure 5 years ago if probably just be Jerry maybe and I 5 years ago. So unbelievable job that they've done, and even though senior night is going to be very different than any senior night I've been a part of, I want to thank the governor for allowing two people, to the seniors to have two family members at the game. They won't be able to be on the court with them, but they'll be able to watch from the stands, and just happened yesterday. So very appreciative, and each one of our players gets two, family members can come and see them play. I know it's the last game of the year, but it is something, and just thankful that the rules changed for this game, and they're going to be able to come and enjoy maybe watching their son play, and see these seniors off, hopefully the right way.
Steve, let's start with Gio. He's been here the longest. What has he meant to the program, and specifically, what has he meant to you as a coach and as a man, and what's your relationship with him like? Give us an idea.
Well, I mean, first of all, Jerry, it'd be remiss all six of these guys. I think Gio, from day one, and Jacob's been with us for 3 years, and Miles 4, and Duke 4, and Luke 4, and Nick Brooks 3 years. So all six of them, and those guys that have been with me for 4 years, and Gio being the start of it. But I think he took on the challenge. At the time, as you guys know, we were Rutgers basketball. We didn't have a practice facility. We were last place in the Big Ten. We had won one game prior to Gio getting here, and told him about all the challenges, that were in front of him, and he accepted all that, and I'm just so proud, of all of them for the 4 years. They made it a call today where there's a zillion people on. It's all because of the job that they've done in the last 4 years. It's only, not fitting to be playing their last game in front of a packed rack. That would be a fitting tribute to these guys. But it's just the way it is. And it's another challenge that they had to, from raising the program, to having winning seasons, to playing in front of nobody, and then playing in front of sold out crowds. And now the pandemic and social injustice and all the different things. These guys have had a full 4 years. And when I really reflect back on it, because I am so much one game, Jerry. And then I sat back, yesterday knowing that senior night, even that snuck up on us, and just thought about Gio Baker. I thought about Miles when he came in. They're both roommates together, and Duke, and how far that they've come. And, I told him too this the other day. I said, this is great. Like, we're playing meaningful games in February, and people expect us to win every game. I said, you guys created that. There was a time here when, that wasn't the case. And you guys have done that. You guys have created that. And the work that these guys have done, in the classroom, our GPA as a team, 3.4, the social injustice, those issues that they've had to deal with, COVID, empty gym to full gym, can't win on the road to winning on the road, challenging all the best teams in the league, winning a lot of games, having winning streaks, but you've also had to fight through losing streaks and all that other stuff. And I said, boy, they've had a full plate, and Gio certainly has. I mean, from day one when he came in, I gave him the ball. He weighed 150 pounds. People doubted he could play at this level. I remember reading articles. He was a 2-star, and stuff like that. And he was motivated. He took on the challenge. fought through injuries, fought through losing streaks, winning streaks, became a great student too along the way. You know, just really proud and I'm in the streets now and everyone's watching our games on TV. I mean, that wasn't the case before these guys got here. It just wasn't. And only wish we could send them out, Jerry, Gio, and everybody else with the great rack being packed with the fans that were awesome. But that's the last 16 months, so that hasn't been the case. They deserve, to go out. And I know how much people do appreciate the kind of kids they are from great families and the job that they've all done to raise the program and raise it to places that it hasn't been. And, we'll hopefully enjoy the rest of this ride this year. And hopefully the last 16 months have been kind of crazy and, send them out the right way with the reward that they should enjoy.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
We'll go to Keith Sargent next, and then Bobby.
Steve, I guess, why are you honoring all players? I guess they obviously have some eligibility left. What made you decide on answers on whether or not Joe is definitely leaving? Same thing with Jacob, and same thing with Miles.
Yeah, I mean, the great part the NCAA did, like we're going to have senior day across the whole country, but every senior gets this year back too. So, they're all graduating and they have graduated, some of them already. Jacob's in grad school and doing great, a grad student already. So they all going to have an opportunity. And I think that's one of the great things that the NCAA did, to come back and give them that opportunity. But they're all seniors and, it's senior night and we want to honor them. And I hope they all come back. I love them all. I hope they come back for 100 years. And I would welcome all of them. I mean, Luke Nathan and Nick Brooks too. And we'll talk about all those guys that have scored more points and done more. Those two guys have been as awesome as anybody. And Mamadou Decore has been a core of our program from day one. He works hard. He's always ready when I call on him. He's a captain. He's a leader. He's a great teammate. He's all the things that are good about college basketball. So I want all of them, to come back and they'll have that opportunity. But it is senior night and they all graduated and they want to enjoy. They came in together and Jacob came, a year after that, but he sat out that 1 year and he's improved and done an unbelievable job in grad school. And Dean's List students, all these guys are great students and have been great, people and players for us. And they've raised, the level of this program that, you don't see it every day like I do. You don't see the job that Luke Nathan does every day in practice. You don't see the job that Nick Brooks does. Nick keeps our team loose and it's funny as can be. And, Luke Nathan is the number one guy on the bench cheering for people, works as hard as anybody, just another great kid and from a great family. All these kids are from great families. So I appreciate that the NCAA gives them an extra year, all of them. And if they all want to come back, I would be the happiest and honored coach in America, but they are seniors and they deserve a day, even though the gym I'll have a few people this time, but they deserve a day and you get those uniforms and those jerseys framed for them. And they've meant a lot to us. So they deserve a day to themselves.
Steve, you talked about the importance all season of bringing your team bringing their own energy. Do you get the sense the energy's already raised with the fact that the parents can come watch these guys play this last game?
Well, I mean, I hope so. I mean, we just found out about that on Monday. So we've been, trying to get parents. It's hard to turn around and some parents don't want to travel because of the, COVID and stuff. So hopefully we'll get as many as possible, to come. It's one game, but, thankful that they have that opportunity, but it's not as easy as it sounds, especially at this last minute. But, these kids have done a lot for our program and you start marking down senior night, and I think it hits some of them, differently, even though the gym's empty, they'll play with energy. They'll be ready when the ball is thrown up. and expect them to do what they've done for all 4 years, like represent our school the right way, represent our basketball program, represent their families. I mean, they should get a ton of credit for the types of kids they are and accepting the challenge. You know, Gio's done nothing, Miles, they've done nothing but accept challenges since they got here. Indiana's another huge challenge. So expect them to do what they've always done and do it the right way with smiles on their faces and all those things. So excited about, you know, celebrating. And gave me a chance too to really reflect back and what great kids and how far they've come too, and how much better they've gotten. I mean, it's always great to really reflect back and see, you know, the improvements of the program because of them, and the improvements they've made personally in the game of basketball and in school and in every other area.
We'll go to James Cratch next, and then Chris Nowalski.
I guess, Steve, getting back to obviously the year of eligibility, as a coach, do you have to just kind of have the mindset that you're saying goodbye to everybody and then you'll figure out what comes after the season ends?
Yeah, James, I think like where we're headed now with college basketball is you go 1 year at a time. You know, I think that's where it's, you know, that's where it is. And, you know, I've talked to, you know, many coaches about that. You know, you enjoy the guys while they're here. You always appreciate them. And I try to really enjoy them because, you know, next year's never, you know, so many different things going on and in this world and with the options that everyone's going to have. You just try to enjoy and appreciate the guys. And, you know, if they're Scarlet Knights forever, I mean, you know, if they play for me for 1 year or play for me for half a year, I will always be a part of trying to help them, you know, go on and do whatever they need to do. But, you know, these 6 kids in particular can be successful in so many different ways. They really are. They're great kids. They're great students. They're workers. They come from great families. They're going to do a lot of great things. And but I do think, James, that's how, you know, college. I mean, I think about these guys took on the challenge at the beginning of the year. I said, anyone can opt out. Like, you don't have to play this year. And I think about how many players in college basketball have done that, opted out, and teams have opted out. You know, these guys took on the challenge of COVID, just like they've taken on every challenge. And we haven't had pause. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, I told the coach that the other day and he was like stunned. Like, and I said that this is this group. So just, you know, the amount of challenges that they had, and they took that on at the beginning of the season. They've basically been, you know, since June, you know, in their own bubble here, you know, with basketball and, you know, taking internet classes and seeing none of their classmates and all that stuff. They took on that challenge and they didn't have to, you know, so thankful, you know, that's another challenge that they had to, you know, wrestle with, and that they've done such an unbelievable job in that, and that we're playing every game and that we're practicing every day, you know, is really, you know, remarkable on their part.
Hey, Coach, I know going back to the family being able to come, do you know whose family is able to come? And, you know, do you get a sense how special that is for the guys to have some parents there?
Yeah, I mean, again, the rule, I found out yesterday at like 11 o'clock, so people are scrambling. You know, I do know some can't make it, some don't want to travel because of COVID, but as many, you know, as possible, I hope can come. I don't have numbers on that stuff. I mean, 2 each person can get 2. You know, they can't be on the court like we normally have, you know, if they're not part of Tier 1 testing, but they're going to be able to sit in the stands and, you know, be able to see their son play, you know. It is kind of, I'm thankful that that's kind of been passed quickly here, but they're all trying to make plans now, and, you know, it's harder for some than others, and some are worried too about, you know, about COVID, as they should be.
Try to get a couple more for Coach. We'll go to Aaron next.
Hey, Coach. Talking specifically about Miles and Gio, obviously on the court they made a big impact, but what is their leadership brought to this program? How has their perspective helped from where the program was when they got here, and what qualities make them special leaders with this program?
I mean, you know, those 2 guys, and, you know, Jacob Young too, you could add Duke, all those guys into this, you know, category. I mean, they've really raised the level of this program, and that has helped us in every way. It's helped us, build a new practice facility. It's helped us get better recruits. It helped us with the perception too of the program. We're developing guys, and guys are great students academically. I mean, I think Miles has made the dean's list every semester that he's been here in the School of Engineering. I mean, not only, just great people that have represented our university the right way and, have grown too. I mean, Gio was 145 pounds when he got here. Miles, had the red shirt his freshman year and did an unbelievable job red shirt and getting into great shape. And, the gains that, Jacob has made. And I will tell you too, Duke, whenever he's called on, he's ready. And he's been like as good a teammate and a leader as you can have for 4 years. A good example of a guy who, hasn't been home in 4 years to Miles, just is a Rutgers guy. And Luke Nathan, he's Rutgers through and through, and Nick Brooks, what they have done every day in practice. The most excited guy to practice is Luke Nathan, and brings that energy every day. And Nick Brooks brings a laughter and a part to our team that we need. So they always have, and Gio and Miles have been two pillars really for us, on and off the court. In the classroom, Miles has started a foundation. I mean, how many college kids are starting a foundation to help other people? Gio, with all the stuff he's done, social justice, all the challenges in our social climate that he's had to, answer to and talk about, and different things that he's done. I mean, they've just been great leaders. But more importantly, I don't. When you sit in a room with a kid and you take on a challenge, you sit both those guys down and said, hey, we haven't been very good here. They know the record before we got here. And, we didn't have the shiniest facilities to show them back then. We didn't have, the record of winning games in our league, all those things. And they just came and they were accepting of those challenges. And they've gone about every day trying to make Rutgers basketball better. And they have succeeded. They have succeeded, and I love the fact that every game now is we got to win, and we got this great. That's what they did. That's what they did. It's not what we did as coaches. Like the players made those expectations. I love it. They expect to win every game now. It's great. And I said that to them. I said, hey, you guys created this. So now we got to go and do it. And that's where we wanted to be when they came here. I wanted people talking about us in February, talking about postseason, talking about, and they have done that, and they've done it with class, and, all 6 of them have done it the right way, and they've been, real representatives of what a great university this is, and, what a great conference that we play in. And if you throw on all the added stuff that, in a 4-year career, I don't know if you could go through more than what these guys have gone through. And I only wish, my only wish was, the place would be packed, because people need to enjoy and appreciate, and they would too. The rack would be going crazy for those 6 guys. And it's unfortunate, but we'll have the 40, 50 people, whoever's there, we'll be trying to make noise for 8,000.
We'll go to Brian Fonseca and then Keith Sargent.
Yeah, Steve, a couple questions on Jacob. First of all, how is he doing physically after the end of the last game? Is he all right?
He's fine. Yeah, Jacob's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
So he is obviously the latecomer of this group. What did he add when he came into this group? And I know you're not big on starting lineups, but any thoughts to putting him back in for a senior night, a start?
I mean, first of all, another kid in a great family, and he took on the challenge too. He took on the challenge in year 1 of his eligibility. We had won 20 games. And I will tell you, he's had a great senior year. He really has. He's one of the elite defenders in the country, and he's improved, and everyone knows it. I see it every day in practice. He loves basketball. He's going to play basketball for a long time. And he's in grad school, and he's got a 3.5 grade point average in grad school. So, what can I say, about, Jacob Young, other than it's been an unbelievable 2 years, and real proud that he came on board. He accepted the challenge too. And he was here, the year before too, the old rules where you have to sit out, those will be gone, coming up soon, but he had to play through the old rules, where you have to sit out a year. And you know, that's a year where you got to get better and you got to help us in practice. And he did that, you know, that year too. So even though he couldn't score points for us on the court, he really, you know, helped us in a lot of ways. And I just love his development. He's gotten better in every area. And he's got a great smile. He plays with great energy. And again, another guy graduate in grad school and he's going to play basketball for a long time. So thankful. And I know, you know, we will miss, you know, when I look at a scouting report and I know another team has a really good guard and there's one guy in the room that always, I got him. And that's how he's been all year this year. And I know people don't keep stats on those things, but we do. You know, he's held every leading scorer that he's guarded. I mean, some of them under half of their average. You know, he's really done an unbelievable job of embracing both ends of the floor, but especially that end of the floor. And it's not talked about probably enough. I mean, the job that he's done defensively, and same with Miles too, and you know, is elite, and the improvements that they've made really, you know, a credit to them.
Go ahead, Sarge.
Steve, we were talking to Greg Schiano in December about them not going on pause. I think they were one of only 2 or 3 Big Ten teams not to do it. You're in the same boat. I know it's always a knock on wood situation. I know you mentioned it earlier, but is there anything that you could pinpoint to why you've been able to get through this COVID season unscathed?
I mean, really, I mean, it's the same way you could pinpoint, you know, the leadership of our players. You know, they're in the dorms, they're away from here, you know, 20 hours a day. So the discipline that they've had, the commitment too, that they've had to wear their mask, and you know, there have been outbreaks on our campus. There have been some in the building, you know, in our practice facilities with some programs, and to be able to navigate, you know, all of that. And it's, as you guys know, it's an invisible virus, so it could get you, you know, at any point in time. But really just a credit to, you know, their dedication, and, you know, they haven't seen their families. I mean, this has been going on too. This is 16 months of it, you know, it started last, you know, in January. So, you know, 14 months. This has been a long journey for them with COVID and trying to navigate all that. But I mean, it's leadership, it's discipline. It's those guys held each other accountable, because there's a lot of hours that we're not with them. And when they're with us, we're always preaching it, and we're always trying to do all the right things with film sessions and different things. But they've had to do it. You know, they've had to sacrifice, and they've had to not go home or not go to that social gathering when everyone else was probably doing it. You know, and it's really unbelievable. It really is. And I know a lot of coaches in the country. I mean, when I tell them that, they just can't believe it, because they've had issue after issue after issue. And some have shut down their seasons. Some kids have opted out during the season, you know, that kind of thing. Because it's a lot on you to continue to not get it. And the lessons we're teaching them, and double masking, and then the travel protocol is always different. So it's, you know, I know it's been well spoken about, but really a tip of the hat for our guys that they can get out and play every game, and we haven't missed one game. And, you know, and tip of the hat to the other teams too, because they're a part of it. If they're in protocol, then we don't play the games.
We'll take just 2 more for Coach, so then we can get some seniors in here. We'll go to James Cratch and then Brian Fonseca.
Steve, I guess, how do you feel the team's responded the past few days in practice, and do you feel like you're ready to put a better foot forward against Indiana tomorrow night?
Yeah, I mean, you know, our guys have been great, and I mean, we bounce back pretty quickly. We've been really good at bouncing back, but you know, we're going to play a really good team. They're going to play well. Indiana, obviously, is, you know, I don't know if they won, is it 5 national championships? I mean, it's a big time program, and Archie does an unbelievable job, and they have as good a big guys there is in the country, and they're playing really well defensively. So we're going to have our work cut out for us, but our guys will be ready. I have a lot of confidence in these guys, and we're playing for a lot. You're playing for your seniors. You're playing for a lot, and you know, I just keep telling them, you know, we got to do what we do, and don't go up and down as everyone else. Just play. You know, you guys are good, and you've proven you've been good, and you've been good for a few years. And you've done it in the best league in the country. So you guys know exactly how we need to play and be connected and all those things. And we'll go out there. We have a lot of season left. I know no one wants to hear that. We have 4 games left. We have a game in the Big Ten tournament. There's a lot of ways. I love the fact that, I used to coach at Stony Brook for 11 years. You had to win every game, and then you had to win the whole tournament. No one cared about anything else. Here, you got a lot of ways to continue your season. And we got a lot of season left. We got to play that one game at a time. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but that's all we can do in a league like this, one game at a time. And we'll be well prepared. We'll have a good practice today. Guys were in good spirits yesterday. I think the seniors are excited that, family members could come. And we'll continue to do what we do. That's grind and have them prepared.
Steve, you've touched on this, but the expectations that this group has created for this team, you guys lost 3 of your last 4. The fan base is getting a bit restless. Do you have a message to them heading into the stretch run of the season?
Yeah, I love the fan base. I love that, 5 years ago, they weren't talking about anything. So, you guys, all the talking you could do, on the court, it's a lot harder than you guys think. I will tell you that. It's a lot harder than you think, and our guys have been in a bubble now for, the last 14 months, really. And they're going to continue to do what they do. And, it's changed. Every game, every halftime is critiqued. It's just, changed. Play the season. Every game isn't the Super Bowl. Basketball is a tough sport. You can't win every game. I know some teams may be able to. I don't know if it's Gonzaga. But in this league, you're going to have your ups. You're going to have your downs. You're going to have streaks where you're playing well. You're going to have other streaks. I have a lot of faith in this team. I have a lot of faith in the players in this team. We've gotten through a lot of challenges. I think last year it was the last game. We had to, one game. So overtime, we had to, you got to go through. You got to grind it. You got to enjoy the chapters of the book. I know sometimes the fans don't enjoy them, but those are all part of the journey. Certainly, these guys have been on that journey for 4 years, and so they know how hard it is. I don't know if anyone else kind of realizes that. The staff does, and we also watch film of Indiana and say, Indiana's pretty good too. I mean, nobody gives credit to the other teams that we play. Michigan's pretty good, but I love these challenges. I think our guys do too, and that's why we took this job, and I love where we are as a program, doing it right. Kids are graduating, doing great things. We're winning a lot of basketball games, even though we didn't win our last one. We've won a lot of basketball games in probably the best 2 years in the Big Ten history. So we have done some good things too, which I'm excited about. And I do often remind the guys of that.